Hi, and welcome back to Jen and Dan's Natural Healing with Plants, the go to podcast for holistic health seekers looking to harness the power of nature for health and healing. I'm Jen. I'm a passionate health educator, whole food plant based culinary coach, and master herbalist. And I'm here with Dan, an exercise specialist and wonderful master herbalist. Together, we dive into the world of natural healing, bringing you a wealth of knowledge and practical advice. We draw from both traditional wisdom and modern science with herbs and foods to help you achieve optimal health. So, today's episode is going to hit close to home for a lot of people. We're talking about something that we see all the time, and that is people who are damaging their health because they're just so desperate to lose weight.
And it's very, very frustrating for me to see it because people go to the extreme, and then what happens, they burn out and they give up. If you look at social media, they're teaching a quick fix, like an extreme low-calorie diet, a detox, exercise all day long. But the
Yeah.
problem is these are none of these are sustainable. They can actually wreak havoc on your hormones. They can wreak havoc on your overall well-being. And you're gonna be like, if I had to go as extreme, I'm not. I'll just live with the weight. I forget it. You know.
Right, right.
And
Yep. Right. Just losing weight is not healthy. So, the majority of Americans are overweight. I can't remember the percentage, you may know. And then something like 30 something or 33% are obese. And so
hmm
that is definitely a danger for our health. And so we're not saying that people don't need to lose weight. People do need to lose weight, but they need to lose it in a way that is healthy for them and their body. You can't just lose weight and do these extreme things because that is going to, I mean, you might be dead, right? You're putting your health in real danger, especially if you're doing something really quick.
well, and the other problem is you might lose weight with a quick fix, but the rebound is gonna come back because you have not changed your lifestyle. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
this is a lifestyle. It's not. There's no quick fixes. Always backfire in the end.
Always, every time, every time. Yeah, if you see so many people, they jump on the latest trend and they lose this weight and they get all excited. And then a month or two goes by and they go right back where they were. And all of a sudden the weight goes up and goes up even more. And so
Yep.
then, 6 months down the road, they're in worse shape than they were when they started.
And it's very frustrating for the person. And even yo-yo dieting, and when your weight goes up and down, that
Mhm.
is really bad. It's really stressful on your body too.
Yeah, horrible. Right.
And then we can go into, I see people, they undereat. So what we're saying is they eat maybe 800 calories a day. That is so straight. It makes your cortisol go up. So when your cortisol is up, you're not going to lose weight anyway, and then your metabolism is going to slow down because when you starve yourself, it actually scares the body, and the body starts holding on to everything
Yeah, it
because
starts
it
grabbing
thinks you're
fat. It
starving.
starts
Yeah.
storing fat. Yeah, it's like I
Mm-hmm.
can't let any fat go because we might starve to death. It's
Yep.
total shock for the body. Yeah, I cannot tell you how many women I've met, especially women my age and older, who have just gone months and months and months eating 800 calories a day. And they just say, I'm stuck. I don't know why I can't lose any weight. And they just don't realize you can't. Your body will not let you. Your body wants to hold on to every piece of fat that it has because it's scared that it's going to starve to death. Because we have to have so many calories just to walk around your house. And then you tell me you're tired. Well, of course you're tired. You're not getting enough calories for breathing, for your heart to beat, much less muscle contraction to move your body all around.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't talk about the BMR enough. The basal or metabolic rate is the amount of calories that your body has to have just to stay alive. So a lot of women are actually eating less. I think for most women, it's probably going to be around 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day just to keep you alive. And then
Yes.
you have women that are eating 800 calories a day. So you see how the problem starts to evolve there.
Yes, and just starts eating your muscle.
Yeah, oh yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the worst thing to do.
Yeah, and you lose muscle, then you lose even more of your metabolism. It drops even more. You need muscle mass. you have to have muscle mass. And so you need to eat in a way that helps you to maintain and build muscle. But at the same time, if you're cutting calories, you're definitely not going to build any muscle. You can't
No.
build and lose at the same time. And so you have to choose, what am I doing? Is for me, in um my personal opinion, is focus on building strength and eating real whole foods, not snacking between meals, and making sure that you're eating until you're full and then stop. Eat until you're full and stop. Focus on strength training and building up your muscles.
I completely agree with that because I mean muscle tissue is very important, especially in the older we get is very important, especially for women because women are more prone to get osteoporosis. So if your muscle mass gets smaller, your bones get weaker. If you're under eating, your bones get weaker. So what Jennifer is saying is to eat a healthy diet, get enough calories, enough nutrition, build your muscle. Now you're going to work on keeping your bones strong, staving off osteoporosis, and you'll start to lose some fat.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that because I didn't. That's another thing I didn't even think about, which is so true. When we lose weight so quickly, we are really putting our bones at risk.
Hmm.
And so that's another thing. You don't want to lose weight quickly because your bones they're going to suffer.
Yeah, and it's a serious problem.
Yes.
Some women's bones get so weak they can break them doing just hardly
Simple
anything.
things. Right. So, devil's advocate here, clients constantly come to me and say, I can't eat plant-based because you just told me I need to build muscle. How can I build muscle? I can't get enough protein.
Oh, that myth won't die, will it, Jennifer?
It will not die. I'm so sick and tired of it every single day,
God.
all the time. I'm telling you what. So I've been completely whole food plant-based, no animal products since before January. I started posting January 1st, 2017. And so it was before then. And so what, 8 years, 8.5 years. I strength train. My husband is a farmer who literally does the farmer's carry, carrying the 50-pound bags, walking all around the farm. Is a sole farmer alone, has a walk behind tractor. Not he has riding tractors, but he uses walk behind tractors. He uses hand tools, all those things. Same thing. Where's he getting his protein? He's, he's 6 feet. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can go back to the gorillas even.
Yes.
They're like 400 pounds. Guess what? They're plant-based eaters. And I think we talked about this last week, and there's a new study that come out. It proved once and for all that plant protein builds muscle just as well as animal protein.
It's nice and clean too.
Yes, and it's good for your
Lean
heart.
protein.
Yes.
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 And there was that dude, he's a pro bodybuilder. I can't think of his name, but
There's so
anyway,
many.
he's huge. He's
Uh,
ripped,
uh,
and I just let's try to kill the myths right
yes.
now.
Yeah. Just Google vegan
Yes.
bodybuilders, whole
Oh
food
yeah.
plant-based bodybuilders. You will not believe how many they are. Yes.
And even that, here's I can go even a step further. A lot of people think, well, okay, now I'm going to get my plant-based protein, so I had to have a lot of beans, tofu, nuts, all those things. You don't even have to do that. If you just eat enough calories with
Ding, ding,
green
ding.
vegetables, fruit, whole grains, you'll still get enough protein, even without the foods that contain more protein. That's the thing. It's like you don't have to worry
Yes.
about protein. Just
Right.
eat.
And I said ding, ding, ding because it's the calories. You have to get enough calories. If you're only eating 800 calories, you're
Oh,
right. You're not getting your protein needs met. You
mm-mm.
have to eat enough calories. In my cooking class in the Zen and Zest Zone membership group this week, it was a salad day. We're celebrating National Salads Month. And so we made these salads that are meals. And I showed everyone, I used to, when I had a real job, I would take my salads to work and they were in a brownie pan. That's how big your
Yeah.
salad should be. It should be as big as a brownie pan. You should have lots and lots and lots of greens, but also all your rainbow vegetables. You can throw on pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds. You could put on a scoop of hummus. You could put on sugar snap peas or snow peas or green peas, frozen green peas, any of those. And then make a delicious plant-based dressing. If you like creamy-based dressings, make one with some hemp seeds or some tahini seeds or something like that. Or make you a nice vinaigrette and with lemon juice. But I would still put some seeds on there. Or maybe a sprinkle of walnuts so we have our omega-3s. Anyway, it's got to be big and filling.
Yes.
Yes. And so if you just switched from eating a sandwich with a little side salad to eating salads for lunch, and you're not making them big enough, then you are feeling weak because you're not eating enough calories.
Exactly. And then another thing we have to look at when we're not eating enough calories is thyroid function, because the thyroid has to have food to function too. So if you're starving yourself, you're starving every organ in your body, your thyroid. And so, you may go to the doctor, well, you have slow thyroid. Well, a lot of times, if you're doing a crash diet, that's the reason. Your thyroid can come back up. Uh-oh. If you start eating enough food,
Hmm.
and we could go, and we're not talking about herbs today, but there's also herbs that can help with your thyroid. But yes, that's another thing. So we have to worry about thyroid production. So if you eat more food, your thyroid will work better, and so you'll lose weight easier. So
Yes.
what
Yes.
we're trying
Getting
to
all your
tell you
minerals.
guys is you have to eat.
Yes. Yes. Thyroid needs lots of minerals. And so where do you
Yes.
get your minerals? Your dark leafy greens.
Oh yeah.
And I was listening to a study this week as well. It was an eye doctor who talked about, the people who are older or younger, hopefully, we hear about lutein and zeaxanthin for the eyes. Well, we can get those from dark leafy greens, but you need 5 cups of dark leafy greens to get what you need, which sounds like a lot. But if you've ever cook, just go out there, just grab 5 cups of spinach and cook it and see what you have left. It's like a tiny bit of spinach. And so it's not just raw. Don't just have to eat salads. Yes, eat your salad, but your salad's going to have, it might have you, depending on what you have. Mine probably has 5 cups of greens, but at least 2 cups of greens on your salad. And then cook up a couple of greens. Add some greens to your smoothie in the morning, and you easily can get 5 cups of greens. And so those same minerals that are going to help you with your eyes and vision and fending off vision loss and macular degeneration are also going to power your bones, are also going to power your thyroid, are also going to power your liver. And so focusing on the greens is really key. And it's going to fill you up. And you need to make sure you're adding other things to it so you're meeting your calorie needs to help you with weight loss.
Yes, when I'm working with somebody, I help them find their maintenance calories first.
Hmm.
And we'll go to maintenance calories for a while, and I say, I want you to create a deficit with exercise. If you could do that, it's really the best way
Right.
because you're not
Right.
starving, and you can lose weight eating maintenance if you do cardio, maybe 5 times a week.
Hmm. Yes, which is another thing. So a lot of times people will start exercising more, but they're not exercising appropriately. And so we need to
Mhm.
make sure you're eating enough calories to power your exercise, power your strength training. If you're strength training, you need more calories. And so we need to make sure we're eating enough to power our body for our exercise, but not over exercise either. If you have low thyroid and you decide you want to do CrossFit or you want to train for a marathon or something like that, you're already fried. You're going to just, you're destroying your body. You're just setting it up for disaster. You need to make sure you're choosing um, the right cardio for you and strength training to protect your bones, to maintain your muscles as well.
And that's the beauty of picking the right diet, which is, Jennifer, I teach plant-based because the body lets go away easier when you're eating this way, because I call it clean eating.
Yes.
So you can eat maintenance or maybe even just a little bit below maintenance and just do reasonable amount of exercise and you'll start to lose weight. It might be slower than you're used to, but I also teach to lose weight at a slower pace. This way it's less stressful on the body and it is more likely to stick Well, that's another study I saw. I think it was Neil Bernard. They did a study in his clinic. When people lost weight using the plant-based diet, they didn't rebound if they stayed on the diet. Meaning once they got to their target weight, if they kept eating plant-based, they would stay at their target weight, which is why I teach you. I want you to get down one time and stay there.
Yeah.
If I
Yeah.
don't help you do that, I feel like I didn't do my job, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah. Learn. And it's so easy once you start eating this way. I know for me, when I first started, it was like, I don't know what to eat because every meal centered around meat. But once you change the way you're thinking, focus on vegetables. Pick a vegetable you want today. What else can go with that? Pick a bean you want today. What can go with that? Think about meals that you already eat that you can make plant-based. I mean, spaghetti. I can make it with zucchini noodles or squash noodles, and that way it's still a whole food. I do want to read the labels, make sure I'm not adding sugar. But I mean, boom, that can be easily plant-based. Serve it with some broccoli or green beans, right? Tacos. It doesn't have to be with meat. Make tacos with beans, right? So easy. Fajitas with mushrooms and peppers and broccoli, those things. I mean, it's so easy to make them plant-based. You can make it also without oil, and it's also going to cut the fat. You eat until you're full, you feel good, you're energized, and you're fueling your muscles.
I'm so glad you said that because most recipes out there that you like, you can make them plant-based,
Yes.
and they're just
Yes.
as good.
And then you start realizing, wow, this is so easy and they're beautiful. You look
Uh-huh.
at them, they're mouth watering. I want to eat this. And so it makes it so easy where you don't want to go back to eating the stuff you're eating for. And I don't know about you, but when I first I was a major meat eater, meat 3 times a day. So when I did give up meat, a week later, my husband hadn't given up meat yet, and I opened up a thing of ground beef and I almost threw up. It was
Yeah.
like, how did I go in just 1 week? How did I go from eating meat to this is going to make me throw up? And I told him, I was like, if you want this, you have to cook it yourself. I cannot even. Yeah. And so then we realized, wait, if
Yeah.
you look at a piece of raw meat and you
Oh,
look at a plant-based dish, it could even be a raw plant-based dish. Which one do you look at and go, hey, I want to eat that?
yep.
Yeah.
Same thing happened to me. And they say if you get a little kid and you sit him down with an apple or a piece of meat, the kid will go to the apple most of the time because that's
Yeah.
our natural diet. You think we talked about this before, but if we were truly carnivores,
Hmm.
we could be walking out in nature and see a dead animal and we would be like, yummy, and pick him up and start eating
Yeah.
him like my dog does. My dog does that.
Yeah.
But I mean, that makes me
Disgusting.
sick. If we were truly carnivores, that would be good to us, but we're not carnivores. This carnivore nonsense is going to ruin your
Yes.
health. Okay, it will.
Yes.
I
Yes.
haven't. I've never taught anybody that went carnivore for a long while that didn't have high cholesterol,
Yeah. Constipation.
constipation. Some of them get rashes. Some of them start to, and the rebound, in the not just the rebound, but you're going to hit a wall if you're trying to lose weight with a high fat carnivore diet because you will stall. You're
Yeah.
going to stall eventually.
Yeah. And, I think that people start feeling good when they first that way
Yeah.
because they're eating cleaner.
Hmm.
They're going from processed foods, they're eliminating the processed foods, they're eating this. It's just like when people go on our programs and they give up gluten and dairy. It's the same thing. You give up the gluten and dairy and you're like, wow, I feel so much better. Well, they're going carnivore, they're giving up the gluten and the dairy. And so they're feeling better. And so then they just want to promote the carnivore. And then all of a sudden, like you said, they hit that wall and their health is totally deteriorating.
Yeah, it's very stressful on the body that diet. Your cortisol is going to go up. The body, every cell in the body has to have carbohydrates to run, and it's just the truth. It's scientific fact. Your body has to have fruit. It has to have whole grains, things like that.
Fiber only comes in plants.
And you're gonna
Fiber
feel
only
better,
comes in plants.
energetic. Oh yeah, you start if you're on a low carb diet and you start eating plant-based diet with plant-based carbohydrates, you're gonna start having a lot more energy.
Yes. Yes. That's when I became a runner. Had never run in my entire life and started eating plant-based carbs. no
Uh-huh.
gluten, and I couldn't believe it. I wanted to run. It was like
Exactly.
you have so much energy, which is great. Yes, and so there are no quick fixes. Quick fixes are going to harm the body.
Hmm.
There are some things that you can do, but you have, it's like Dan said, slow and steady wins the race. The slower you go, the more lifestyle habits you form, and the more sustainable it's going to be for you. Eating, as long as you're eating enough calories, you have to eat enough calories. And then let's focus on some things that we can do and to make sure that we're maintaining a healthy metabolism, doing the strength training, but also managing stress because cortisol drives insulin, lowers your thyroid, lowers your metabolism. And so you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to manage stress, not over exercising. Don't strength train every single day if you've never strength trained before. Find someone who can create a good pattern for you. Dan is a personal trainer, and so you can find someone who can help you with those. Making sure you're getting plenty of sleep because that's the only time we recover is in our sleep. Rest to digest, rest to recover. So you have to make sure that you're taking downtime and sleeping, and then get out in nature and walk. Walking is really great. And then there are some herbs that can help too, to help calming cortisol. And we can use ashwagandha, we could use tulsi or holy basil, even nettles to help provide all those wonderful minerals like we talked about, the thyroid, your liver, your bones, they need all these minerals.
Yeah, I like the way you said that because a lot of people, especially in America, when they have a goal to achieve, they want to grind and just kill it, right?
Yeah, right,
That's how you burn out. What we're
right.
trying to teach you is eat a nourishing diet. And don't weigh every day. Please don't. I have
No.
clients that do that and they always like, Daniel, I gained 2 pounds yesterday. I'm like, there's no way
Yesterday. Yeah, I
you
gained
gained
three
two
pounds
pounds
yesterday.
yesterday. Yeah. I said, that's water, okay?
Yes,
But
that's
they
your
don't believe me. They
hormones.
don't
Did
believe
you
me.
sleep? Did you sleep okay? Did you have salt yesterday? Did you stay well hydrated yesterday? Because all those
Yes.
things are going to affect how much you weigh today. So, yes, amen. Thank you so much. Do not weigh every day.
Just don't stress out. You
Yeah,
can do this in a way that you keep your emotions balanced, okay? If you just have to weigh, try to weigh once a week, okay?
yeah, yeah, that's great. That is great. Yes, and because you could easily swing 3 or 4 pounds
Oh
just by
yeah.
not staying well hydrated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pay attention to your clothes. I'd rather pay attention to how is my waist fitting, my
And
clothes
how's my
getting looser.
energy?
Mhm.
Do I have more energy and are my clothes feeling better or feeling looser?
Yeah. And make sure you're drinking enough water. Water is very important for the equation
Yes.
here.
I always have, look at this.
Oh yeah,
I always
Jennifer's.
have
Oh
multiple
yeah.
drinks on my desk.
It's a valid part of weight loss and health is your water. It really is.
Yes. Yes. Think about your blood. Blood's liquid. We
Oh
want
yeah.
blood to flow. Yes. Anyway, thank you for joining us today on Jen and Dan's Natural Healing with Plants. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe and leave us a review. And remember that we love to hear from you. So please comment. Comment wherever you're listening to this, if it's YouTube or your favorite podcast station. We want to hear from you. Touch base with us. You can find more about me at holisticgen.com. That's with a holisticgen.com, holisticgen.com. Or you can find more about Dan at danthenaturalman.com. He also has a YouTube as well. And so we look forward to talking to you next time and hearing from you soon.